Frame 81 coming hot at you on a Thursday afternoon. We got a great list of topics. Before we get into any of those, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. If you want to be a guest on Gutterball, get at us, DM us, email us, comment, get at us. We will get back to you. Come on, Gutterball. Stop slacking because you're embarrassing us, your family, and your mom. We're really disappointed in you, so get on Gutterball. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into how our weeks are going. Then we'll go right into Song of the Week. Paul, what's up with you? What's popping in your realm?
Having a good week, pretty generic. Honestly, the only downside of this whole week so far has been that I've just been getting poor sleep. I don't even know if I talked about it on the last cast. Maybe I did. Did I talk about how poor my sleep's been lately? Just
You might have mentioned it.
a lot of waking up, and then like last night I thought I had it nailed down, man. Like I didn't do any screens like a couple hours before bed. I was even reading a book. I bought magnesium citrate, and I've been taking that a few nights now, just one pill.
Mm-hmm.
And a room was completely dark, cool room like it usually is, no lights at all. I get to sleep finally, and then I wake up like 3-4 times due to fucking just terrible dreams. Some of them were like good dreams, but then like something happens, and some of them were freaking nightmares. Like, and it was
That's
not
weird.
good. Yeah,
I've been having
dude.
a lot of nightmares too.
Yeah,
Like
and
hella
so
nightmares.
my problem lately is like at first it was like I couldn't get to sleep. Now I can get to sleep, but now I can't stay asleep. Like honestly, dude, last night was better with only 3 wake ups. The night before that, I didn't have any nightmares. It was simply that I was tossing and turning. I was probably up every 40, 45 minutes. So I don't know what I'm going to do next because I don't want to take things that are going to affect my REM sleep or my deep sleep. And, you know, I just really want to avoid that. But other than that, it's been an okay week. A little busier at work this week. Quarterly reviews are in for the end of the year. So kind of stressing over that, but it's all went well so far. And yeah, how about yourself, man? What's up?
Pretty good. More of the same old, same old. Just trying to get through the days, get through the shitty winter months. But other than that, nothing super new to report. Yeah, I don't know what to do about the sleeping. I always kind of sleep bad in general anyway. Like the waking up, that is the worst. Especially when you wake up and you just, I don't know. Sometimes your sleep paralysis demon is over there and you're just kind
Yeah.
of like, for a second. But yeah, I see. It's weird for me for having contacts and glasses. It's because when I take off these contacts, might be weird to describe, but everything gets 50% darker. Like
Yeah.
legitimately, everything has a dark shade over it. So it's really like when I take them out, it's like bedtime because I can't see anything. Everything's darker. And that screen time, that's a bunch of hooey, all right? First of all, my eyes have been ruined by blue screens for the last 15 years, and I sleep damn well, trust me. And getting rid of these blue screens isn't going to do shit. Now, I agree with you. Yes, if you're a blue screen, you're introducing it to like a baby's eyes, it's probably bad for it. But once your eyes have been fucked for so long, 10 years of screens before beds, and my eyes are fine. They're like clean bill of health, so I think that's a whole fucking bluey. I think you get used to it,
That's
and I don't think
fair,
it
and I feel like I am
changes
too.
much.
But another thing I have to say about it is there's 2 other things I've done. So as you know, I drink a ton of water. A, because I don't want kidney stones again, and B, it's just good for you. I drink a lot more water since I've been working out and stuff. It's just good to be drinking water. And so I even stopped last night drinking water 4 hours before bed, and I still got up at least once to pee. Regularly, I'm getting up at least two times a night to go take a piss. So like that sucks. Last night it was
Mm.
just once, and that was after I
And
woke up from a dream and
how long
or
do
a
you sleep?
nightmare.
8
Uh,
hours?
I'm trying. Well, so when I was 19, I did a sleep study because my therapist had me do one, like a basic
Mhm,
one. She just kind of did it, and
mhm.
she had me log my sleep time and everything. And really, the perfect amount of sleep for me is 7 hours. But the reason why I went to bed so early last night is just so I could get at least 7 hours because I still anticipated wake ups and whatever else. I
Mhm.
felt better. The day before that, dude, I was not in a good mood. I was so tired. Another thing I cut other than water is, and this is where this is probably where the problem lies, Jackson. I take my pre-workout when I work out, which is right after work between 4 and 5 o'clock, and that's sometimes up to
So
200 milligrams of caffeine
that's
because
why you're not sleeping, dog.
I
Yeah.
take 2 scoops sometimes. But when I was taking the 1 scoop, I didn't have a problem sleeping. But I took the 2 scoops that evening, that 2 evenings ago, and I was just like so like I could not sleep,
Mhm.
and then like I kept tossing and turning all night. But I've cut pre-workout out, and let me tell you, I at least I notice a difference. Like
Do
not
you?
having pre-workout. Yes, I
Oh,
notice.
yeah, well, absolutely, yeah, but did you switch to a, no sim? or just no
No,
pre-workout?
I do have some no stim left. Remember that gorilla stuff. The reason why I stopped taking it though is because it was making me feel nauseous. I could try it again
Mm-hmm.
though.
I would well, fuck that. Just get a different one, but get a no stem. I think pre-workout's very important to get that pump. In my opinion, it's just like why not take it if it's already working for you? Whatever version you're using,
But
I'm sure you can
fuck,
get a
I
no
like
stem
the stem. I just wish I had more time or could flip my entire sleep schedule and go work out in the mornings
in the
because then I
morning.
could take it.
Why can't you flip it? It's gonna be hard. I mean, I wouldn't do it in the middle of like getting the house and stuff, I guess. But you're
Yeah.
already stressed. It's not gonna help flipping your sleep schedule. But yeah, no, that's I try not to drink caffeine after 2 p.m. because that's like the cutoff, Because
Yeah.
what is it? It's gonna be in your system for at least 7-8 hours, like
Yeah.
minimum. How long? So
And so
probably
like
why you're sleeping shitty.
I think you're right, and I did cut it out. I mean I've had caffeine in the last 2 days, but it's like a Coke. I like to treat myself to a Coke Zero at lunch sometimes because it doesn't really
Mm.
fucking matter towards my cut or
Yeah.
anything, and
Mhm.
I love Coke Zero.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you like spelling it on a keyboard too?
Yeah. So that's actually what I had is today. I was just about to like enter a meeting in like 5 minutes, and I had like a bottled Coke Zero. I forgot to put the
Mhm.
cap all the way on, and it flipped over. And I picked it up. I'm like, oh, great catch, Paul. I didn't get on anything. And then I moved my laptop. And it's just fucking all over my mechanical keyboard. And I'm like, duh. So I had like 5 minutes. I grabbed my little key plucker. I have it fucking literally right here in a jar next to my keyboard. And I start fucking plucking all the keys off, dude. I'm running in the kitchen. I got the whole keyboard. It's wireless, so I turned it off. I got isopropyl alcohol. I'm going in between all the keys with a Q-tip, plucking them all off. I cleaned them all, and then I put them all back on, and thankfully she's all right. But immediately I thought about that one sketch where Eric Andre goes into the computer store and opens up his MacBook and goes like, yeah, what seems to be the problem? He's like, I don't know, this thing's broken. And he just dumps an entire Coke across the keyboard. And he's like, why'd you do that, man? And he's like, I don't know, something about my Gmail password. He starts hitting the keys with a hammer. Yeah,
but it does this when I do this. It's just flipping over. No, that's the worst. You're just frantically cleaning that shit off.
Yeah, and I had like 5 minutes for a meeting. I was like, oh, and so like I just at least got all the keys off and got the Coke off, and then I went to my meeting, and then after that I went and like got it all unsticky, and I made sure that like each key that was affected, especially the spacebar got some on it, that it wasn't like sticky. Like I made sure I took isopropyl alcohol to like the little hinges and everything to make sure it wasn't sticky. But God, I was freaking out.
That sucks.
But anyways, on the sleep thing, the reason why switching my workout schedule would suck to the morning, and this is simply the only reason, is boxing gets me so sweaty that I would have to do one of two things. I would either have to go to boxing, and after boxing, go to the showers at work and bring my work clothes with me, take a shower at work, which I just don't like doing. It's weird.
Go to your house, yeah.
Or go all the way back home, shower, eat, and then go to work. And it's just like...
You might have like a George Costanza scenario in play here. So in one of the times in Seinfeld, George makes it look like he's working and staying later than he is by leaving his car at the office. So they come in the morning and think that they stay there all night. So if you're in the morning, you come out of the shower and your boss comes in, he goes, wow, Paul's been working all night. He got a shower at the place and he's back at it. And he walks away. Like, I think this could work out in your favor. Start doing this.
It's the showers in the gym in the lobby, so I guess, but like...
I could just see you just doing this. Like, wow, man, I just see the whole Seinfeld scenario playing out in your favor.
The reason why I'm not even opposed to showering there, the reason why I don't want to is because then I have to bring, like, all this shit with me. You know, like you're getting into shampoo and like an extra duffel on top of my already massive backpack that carries all my boxing shit. And it just gets to be like I'm fucking packing for a weekend out, and I just don't want to. So really, if I do end up switching it, it's going to be like, I'm just going to come back here. Like I'm going to have to just get like, because Rumble has 2 classes in the mornings. They have one at 5:15 a.m. and one at 6:15 a.m. If I can get up by that at like, say, 4:45 and then go there, do the 5:15, I could be back in time, shower, have breakfast, everything. But the 6:15 is really cutting it. Like if I were to do that, because it's an hour-ish. And
and also if you're gonna be taking caffeine that early, you want to at least wait 90 minutes till
you want to at least wait an hour and a half too. So that's why it's like fuck, there's no like perfect, like it'd be different if I had like a home gym. That's where things would change, where there would be, maybe I can't maybe I can't do pre-workout every day, but if I can work out in the morning some days at home when I'm working from home, then I can take pre-workout. And honestly, once I start working from home permanently, once I move, or for the most part, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start doing morning workouts. So,
Yeah, no, that's good. I think the morning is the best to do them, honestly. I just don't
on
want to get up that early.
yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think the best way to do it is in the morning after about an hour of being awake. You can do an hour and a half if you can. About an hour of being awake, nothing in your stomach except pre-workout and maybe a cup of coffee if you're into coffee. That's it. That's the way to work out. And then you eat
Yeah.
after. It's like a little reward.
I take a little protein just so the pre-workout doesn't fuck up my stomach. But yeah, and maybe a little bit of fat in the morning. But yeah, that'll be good. What was your sleep study? Like, what did that entail? Because I think I might need to get one because um I was sleeping with someone that I've been seeing, and she was like, "You snore," and I was like, "Fuck, really? Like, that's not good at all." And she said that like a while ago. I just kind of forgot about it. Then you mentioned like sleep study, and I'm like, "Shit, I got to get a sleep study because one, it's embarrassing to snore. Two,
Yeah.
I know all of the medical complications that come with that. And three, there could be like literally 40 different things. Not 40, but there's like 20 at least that I've read that could be cause of my snoring. But I really need to cut that out because
So
if it's like sleep apnea, it's like needs to be corrected ASAP. You know
by
what I mean?
sleep study, I mean a very basic. What I got done was not a real sleep study. It was basically what my therapist is like: make a sleep logbook, right? When you pass out and when you wake up, rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how rested you felt. Make sure you log the hours. Pay attention to how many times you're waking up. And this was when I was like 19, so things were a lot different, or 18. This was things were a lot different for me. You know, that's 7 years ago now, which is what's crazy to think about. I'm 25, and so no, a real sleep study is like you got to go to a doctor and then they got to do all types of shit and like, yeah, dude, like I don't know if I snore. I do know for a fact like my girlfriend snores a lot. Sometimes it keeps me up. That's why like sometimes I go sleep on the couch or vice versa. But
She probably would have told you.
yeah, like yeah, but still like I have some type of problem sleeping. But even that, even if I wasn't snoring, if this shit continues, I'm probably gonna have to get a sleep study, which really sucks because I don't want to have to pay for it because I will. Even though I have insurance, like it's still gonna cost money.
I think you're just stressed about moving and all the new shit.
I'm stressed
around you.
about moving. I think I am overly stressed. Honestly, this whole diet thing is kind of stressful. Making sure I hit my macros, eat at the right time, don't overeat, keep it on my P's and Q's, and then doing all my workouts is honestly probably the most stressful part of my life. Work isn't even that much, not that stressful to me anymore. A little bit of it is, but not a ton of it. But sometimes you have your stressful days. I don't know. That's the thing, dude, is like I really just want to avoid melatonin, Z-Quil, any of these other fucking sleep aids, sleep gummies, because what they do is they affect your REM sleep or your deep sleep, just like pot would do. Like you don't enter all the 7 cycles of sleep. And plus, melatonin, man, I wake up with like a hangover. I don't know if you've ever taken that shit, but you wake up like more tired than when you went to sleep, and it's because you aren't entering those cycles of sleep sometimes. And I don't know. I've considered, I don't know if CBD does, if CBD affects your cycles of sleep, but I've considered doing like CBD oil, which has like no THC or anything in it. It's like entirely legal.
Well, it's legal anyway.
Or
But,
CBD gummies to see if that will help me sleep. But I just don't want to resort to buying anything yet. I just want to kind of figure it, other than the magnesium citrate, which can really only help you.
They use to burn the lock in Breaking Bad.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, it doesn't that. It's fucking thermite or whatever it is.
Yeah, thermite.
Yeah, no, I try to stay away from any of those sleep aids too. I think the CBD might block REM sleep, but I don't know.
I know CBD does, which is like what's meant for sleep.
I've been hitting REM sleep for sure because I get big having some really wild dreams lately. I've been writing them down too. Maybe I'll have to bust open the dream journal one of these days. And I haven't ever gone through my fucking lucid dreams either. I have all those written down. I had 4 lucid dreams in my life, but I love dreaming and stuff like that. It's really cool, except for when they're nightmares. I guess it's not super cool, but you know. We've been talking about sleep for a good minute.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got a lot to say about sleep.
Yeah, well, same here because it's been affecting my life lately. Today, though, I feel pretty decent. Like even though I woke up 3 times last night, I got like okay sleep. I just ran a mile before this, and I'm down to 7 minutes and 15 seconds now. So I shaved another 5 seconds off. And then I rode the elliptical for like 20 minutes and then came home.
Nice. It's the caffeine. I think it's the caffeine at 5 p.m. is what's affecting your sleep.
God damn it. That's what sucks, man.
I
I feel so much better with that stim when I'm boxing. It makes me focus.
Well, just try for a week without it. I mean, obviously it's gonna suck working out. I don't know what you could do to replace the pump or the energy from that, but just see if you're sleeping better after like a week, and I bet you would.
And if it is, then I know it's the caffeine.
Maybe 200 milligrams is too much. Maybe you just need 100 or 50. Wean yourself off of it so that 50 feels like a pump.
On the bright side, I'm not one of those people that has a problem going to work out or sticking to it. Like, I'll go do it.
Yeah, that's no problem. The eating.
Well, no, the eating's fine. It's the stim that, like, when you're there, you're like, fuck yeah. So I've been trying, like, even though I've quit the caffeine for a few days, not long, I've even tried pumping myself up in other ways, like fucking blasting music in my headphones and like really just trying to get into it. But
smelling salts?
I don't have any smelling salts.
I've never done them, but I would like to. I'm just curious. They have those ones that are the strongest ones in the world, but
yeah.
I've seen like grown men just, you know, fucking horrible faces after even getting close to them. So I don't know. I think it'd be interesting.
Were you the one that sent me the video of that guy where someone's filming this dude and he's got a COVID mask on and he goes up to like a Target employee or like a CVS employee?
Yeah. This is me. I don't think this is me.
You didn't send this to me?
No,
and he goes like, hey man, you want to smell my new product? And it's one of those smelling salts. He opens it and he goes, what is that? What is that? What is it? I'm calling the police. And then like, she's like, Greg, get down here. You're like, Lockie's like the manager. Like he's freaking out because he's never smelled something like that before.
Well,
he's like, nah, man, it's my new product. Like he's fucking freaking out, dude.
Well, yeah, have you ever smelled something like that? I don't know what they do this from, but I know it just makes you go awake. They use it for when you get knocked out or something. They put that on your nose. And that's so I guess, yeah, it'd be like, what the fuck is happening? It's kind of the same with like, if you like were to, dose someone with acid and not tell them, you'd think you were dying.
Yeah.
Like, Paul, if you just started tripping and not know you were tripping, you would literally think you're dying. Like, that'd be a problem.
Wait,
I'm still waiting for one of my buddies to dose me with acid.
It's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And the Dexter TV show, when he wakes up his victims and cracks that thing, is that a smelling salt or what the fuck is that?
Smelling salt for sure. Yeah, 100% that is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know what those do long term, but the lifters use them. So maybe try some smelling salts. Get the world's strongest ones.
We'll see. I'm penny pinching right now as a just in case. Like literally, dude.
Like $50 a bottle.
Today I was so close to ordering like CBD gummies and so close to ordering like nicotine pouches because like I need something, but I stopped.
Stay away from the nicotine pouches, and you can go get the gummies at a store. Get out. You don't need no nicotine. Throw that in the trash.
Yeah.
It is a stimulant, and yes, it does have that like kind of like a boost to it. Like
and it
really
doesn't last as long. And
no, it doesn't. But I don't know. Just I feel like you're gonna feel sick after.
Well, that's the thing is like I was gonna get the really low dosage pouches. I was gonna get the 1.5 milligrams and not like I think Zen makes those, but I was looking at like there's a brand called like O or On that makes them, and I don't know.
Oh, I got those Zen 60 nicks back in the day.
60? You mean 6?
No, yeah, 6. Yeah, 6 nick, whatever.
Yeah. 60 nick. Yeah, fucking
that
just burn a hole through your lip.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of like juice.
Pure nick salt.
Yeah.
On the bright, I mean, what I've seen by studies, especially like Andrew Huberman, he says if you're gonna take nicotine, the best way, and even more plates, more dates, nicotine pouches.
Pussy.
Like a Zen that have no other additives in it.
Marb Red. You smoke a Marb Red and you go into the gym. You know, smoke it in the gym.
You smoke it in the gym. They're trying to kick you out. What do you mean? I'm trying to get a good pump. Yeah.
Get my pump on. Why can't you smoke in gyms? Bring back smoking in places. You ever think about that?
Yeah, I don't know what that reminds me of. Our late friend Ryan Berger, we used to have this funny ass joke talking about going to Valley Fair and riding the power tower, and as you're going up, like pulling out a camel because we were really into camels, and lighting a camel up there and smoking it, and then like you're at the top before you're gonna go down. The instructor's like, "Hey, put that out." You're like, "It's a camel. I'm not just gonna put it out. I just lit it." Like just arguing with the guy back and forth. He won't let you. He won't drive drop it down until you finish the cigarette.
You got, yeah, you only till you finish. Yeah, dude, no. First of all, they think there's something wrong. They see the smoke and be like, "Holy shit, you're gonna create a fucking panic." Second of all, why is that bad? Because what if you're on the roller coaster? You know they take the picture. You just hit
a fucking camel or something. Yeah.
What is wrong with it? We should go do that, Paul, and get kicked out of Valley Fair.
Yeah, fuck off.
I think we could get away with it at least once or twice on different rides.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're on the fucking tilt-a-whirl like the teacups, and you're fucking sitting there smoking a cigarette.
There's kids around there. You're smoking a cigarette. So pissed off.
You know how like
so mad.
You know if the ride's so full, they'll pair you with like you're out with like a mom and a daughter, and you just pull out a cig in the teacup. They're like,
you have to go by yourself. Well, that'd be so funny. I'll do it. Okay. If you go to Valley Fair or any fair, let's get me, just sit from that angle and get me on the tilt-a-whirl smoking a cigarette. I think you'd get kicked out pretty quick on the teacups, but the Power Tower, those guys are cool. People that operate the Power Tower are probably chill.
It'd be funny if like you go on, like someone goes on the Venom not knowing that it's gonna go that fast. The cigarette flies back and ashes some kind of fucking
It totally would. The ash would be a problem. It'd be huge on a roller coaster. Fuck yeah. You need to burn out immediately. Get ash on me. Oh, there's ash in my eye. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh god.
No, we
so
made
fucking
such
funny.
ruckus at Valley Fair in theme parks and shit.
Yeah,
yo, I did this one at Grade A last time I went to Suicide Boys. I was talking to James and we were just thinking about ways to fuck with people. And he's like, when you're at a concert, just say you're gonna throw up right behind somebody. And they'll move. We did that. That was so funny, bro. I just go,
That's a good
man,
idea.
I'm about to throw up. And they're like, oh, what? And I'm not, I'm just being a fucking
out of
dick.
there.
But,
Yeah.
no, that's a good way to clear crowd right there real quick. But yeah.
But yeah, man, rest in peace, Ryan, dude. We used to think that was so funny, the idea of lighting a cigarette on like the Power
Memory, I will do this for you, Ryan. I will go on the Power Tower smoking a cigarette.
It's got to be a camel. You got to crack it.
Okay, okay. Oh, those things are disgusting. I'll try my best.
We love those.
The Camel Crushes, dude.
Yeah, we'd get those all the time. That's what was like our. Other than that, we get the Camel Turkish Delights, which aren't you don't have
like
to crush
those.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
and like they have a fancy pack. It's like red and gold.
At his funeral, you gave me one, and I haven't smoked cigarettes up until that point, and it got me so fucking sick. I was so sick.
Well, I didn't know you didn't smoke a cig.
Oh yeah, I know. When we were outside,
so I just gave you your first cigarette. Jesus
no, it wasn't
Christ.
my first cigarette. No. It was. I didn't smoke them regularly or nicotine.
Yeah.
It made me so sick, bro. Yeah, no Turkish Delights for me anymore.
That's why you left and didn't come to the after party. You didn't tell me you were fucking sick.
No, yeah. That was a fun time though. I mean, not the funeral, but getting sick, and driving home wanting to throw up. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah.
Blast. Remember you ever get Nick sick before? Any good Nick sick stories?
Oh yeah, I got a good one for you. Honestly, this would be best told with Ricky on again. But yeah, it was with Ricky, and when I was living with Ricky, we had this. Yeah, we had this. Did I say it on the cast?
You definitely did. Yeah. Now that I remember,
okay.
I think.
I don't really want to tell it, but basically, we had a shared office. Both our computers were in there, and we decided like, yo, man, we can't really hotbox it with weed because the apartment people would get mad or something. So let's just and this is when I was back in college, and I was like, let's just vape and get it really cloudy in here. And he had like a big mod, and I had a big mod, and we were just ripping and ripping and ripping. We had sealed the door, everything, and oh, dude, I was so sick. It's like a feeling where like you want to puke but you can't.
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh, like I couldn't puke, and I was so sick, and he was perfectly fine. He was just laughing so hard.
Yeah, think about Nick's
and I couldn't be in there anymore. I couldn't breathe.
And once you throw up, you're good. Like you immediately feel better. I don't know if you've ever been really Nick sick, but yeah,
No.
I already told my stories immediately as I asked.
Maybe a couple times from chops, but
what the hell's a chop? Oh, weed and nicotine mixed together.
Yeah, and a bong, tobacco.
Call it a chop. They call it a sploof or a spliff or something like that.
That's if you put it in like a joint, right?
I guess, yeah. No, I haven't had nicotine and weed in a long time. Well, together, but sounds kind of good. But yeah, no, I took a hit of someone's vape the other day. It was disgusting. Like strawberry banana, like loon. Ick. Almost threw up. Like, he threw it back to them. Like, get this shit out of my face. I'm sick of all that. No more vapes or anything.
I don't know. I've quit smoking everything, so I'm done. Like I've been done for a while now, and I kind of want to keep that train. But they say that you're not completely off everything until it's been 6 months or more. and it hasn't been 6 months for nicotine at all. So
Now you'll get there.
I'm getting the itch though. It's bad.
I don't have itch to smoke nicotine, really.
And it's bad when like I go hang out with like when I go up north and hang with friends and they're all smoking nicotine, or like mom has a vape, and when like I'm up at Christmas and it's so hard to just not. But I did.
Mom's vape.
I was good. Yeah, Mom, can I see your mint loon?
Yeah,
and then Weston's got Zens now, and I'm just like, fuck.
Everyone's got something, but
I know.
Yeah, stay away from nicotine.
For me, I'm trying to make it fitness and health. Trying to be good.
I don't think cigarettes are bad for you.
They're probably the most clinically proven thing to be bad for you that people ingest. One of them.
Yeah, if you smoke like a pack a day. Yeah.
Can I talk about a topic we have that I just haven't brought up, and I know it's a little past due now? So basically, there's a representative named Ro Khanna from California. He's a like political representative. I think he might be like Senate, something like that. And he introduced a political reform and anti-corruption plan to like, I don't know, some higher up government entity. And this is like past news now. And I know nothing's going to come of it because they'll never let this happen. But he proposed that we ban stock trading for all members of Congress, including their spouses. We ban lobbyist and PAC donations. So that means like, they can't get freaking donations from these big companies to influence laws and shit and like and rules and whatever, whatever. And it also bans members from becoming lobbyists. So like they can't represent like people in Congress can't become they can't represent a company. It's fucked up because they have so much influence into our laws and regulations and rules right now. Just, look at what we're just talking about. Look at big tobacco. You tell me they aren't like Congress's pocket. Go look at any other big like entity they are. And that's why you also see like all these guys in the Senate and stuff. They're not getting their millions of dollars from like serving Congress, Senate, whatever. Maybe they are. It's a lot of it is like you look at when they do their stock trades. It's like, how did you know that was going to happen? How did you know that was just about to go up? How did you know it was just about to go down? Like there's some shady shit that happens that there's like Twitter accounts and stuff I follow that always post like when big political figures make trades and the political figures keep tweeting at them like, stop this, like this should be illegal. And it's like, no, you can clearly see that you're doing something behind closed doors to know this shit and get more money. Like you're doing something,
Always been like that. Oh, Nancy Pelosi, you make $100K a year salary. How are you worth $50 million? How does that work?
Exactly. And this representative Ro Khanna guy, like, I think this is a good start. Is it going to go anywhere? Probably not. But what we also need on top of all those 3-4 things I listed was we need full transparency and also banning creating of loopholes. So like by full transparency, I mean like we're probably not going to stop this, but we need to have like a big national website that always puts when a Congress member like does a stock trade or does something, does anything regarding the stocks and donations and lobbying, anything like that. And then there also just needs to be like a banning of loopholes. Like if this were to go into effect, give it fucking 6 months until they figure out a way around it for it to be legal for them to do any of those 3 to 4 things I listed. That's why I don't know. I've just been really like, my eyes have really been open to like, holy shit, a lot of our representatives in the government, state, federal, whatever, that are higher up there really get a lot of their money from some behind the scene deals. I mean, just go look at like, this is kind of a shitty example, but go look at like the justices on the Supreme Court. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but you want to know what else they make a lot of money doing? Favors or a gift from friends. Oh, we bought you an entire vacation to Maui. By the way, can you vote this way on this bill? Like, right. And so like, and they say that's not what it is. It's a gift, whatever. I don't have friends giving me fucking vacations to Maui. You know what I'm saying? Like just shit like that.
I don't even have friends. How about if you're a senator and you're quote unquote, I guess, on shift, which you kind of should be on shift all the time, you have a camera and a microphone on you at all times, and that's monitored by someone else.
Ooh, it's like cop cams.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you're working as a senator right now. Why should I as an American, have the right to know exactly what you're doing and saying pretty much at all times? I don't think that's
what if they were cop cam Twitch streams and you could donate?
Yeah, see, that could be a problem because someone's going to get killed that way. But like, I think a feed that's not live to someone else would be fine. I mean, just think about some nut job, Paul. They're going to go track the center down and stab him. And it's going to be like, I got it live on Twitch. It's not gonna end well at all. It's gonna be horrible.
You just see, hey, fuck you, and the last thing you see is a gun before the camera drops over.
Yeah, geez, it's gonna be terrible. But yeah, don't be killing them. But yeah, there needs to be some reform. The more you look, the worse and darker it gets.
Oh, I know. That's why, like, I don't want to look at it anymore. But now, ever since I follow those Twitter pages that tweet out earnings of people that, you know, people in Congress or just like, not Congress, just government officials in general, people that represent our government at whatever state or federally, just watching them go from like having pennies and just getting that little bit of money they get to be a representative to just being millionaires because they just so happen to. Sure, don't get me wrong, maybe there's a few of them where they hired a stock guy. Here's because they have a lot of people that manage their money for them. Here's my money, do something good with it, invest it right. But there are some where like they just the day before a stock really shoots up, all their money's into it, and then when it's about to drop, all their money's out, and they know right away. Yeah, it's just, and maybe it's just people listening might think I'm a fucking idiot because I am kind of a loser. I'm an idiot when it comes to the stock market. I know nothing about that shit. If I was smart, I would be rich in doing the stock market. I don't get that shit, and honestly, it doesn't interest me that much. And should it interest me? Probably, because I know a lot of people that have made money from it, but I also know a lot of people that have fucking lost a ton of money, if not put themselves into way worse positions than they were before they even invested. So
don't day trade is Gutterball's advice here. Don't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not that guy. You're just not that person. Not
and
you.
If you want to be that guy, welcome to
you're
a new
not.
Full-time job, because it's what you better be doing. You got to really study that shit before you do anything crazy.
It's just, man, these politicians, they seem like a bunch of jerks. Just a bunch of jerks.
Yeah,
you know?
well, yeah, they are. Well, one thing I always regret is I had a buddy of mine. Remember when Yeti came out with coolers?
Yeah.
And do you remember when they just moved over to tumblers before everybody else? Not before everybody else. There's probably a few other companies, but they were the big main brand to have like, oh, it can hold ice for like fucking a week. Like your fucking cup or whatever it is. My buddy invested in them, and then right before Pelican came out with like their cheaper line of products that do the same fucking thing, he pulled out and he made like thousands of fucking dollars. And I'm just like, God damn it, because he was just smart about it. He was just thinking about it and just paid attention to it and just kind of like, again, a lot of watching, a lot of paying attention. He's always on his phone on like, what's it, Robinhood or whatever, just freaking trading things and doing shit. I mean,
if you're back for that in an NRS, that works. Speaking of fucking tumblers and bottles, I have a related Stanley Cup. Do you know what these Stanley Cup things are, Paul?
I know
it's Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
not
Destiny
the Stanley
has a
Cup,
couple.
like the hockey. Yeah, that, like what all women have. So there's been a huge Stanley Cup craze now.
Oh
like,
yeah,
people are like,
you want to know what's crazy is like I heard people that were 40 or 50 at work saying like Stanleys were like the old person thing to have when I was in school, and now they're cool. It's just weird how trends work.
Oh, well, literally, because I work at a Target, so over the course of the last 2, like not 2 years, I've only been working there for like a year. Over the last like 4 months, the amount of times I get asked by Stanley Cups, but by only middle-aged women, has gone up increasingly. So I kind of saw this huge surge coming where they're selling out immediately out of Stanley Cups and shit because people want them. They want this new Galentine's Day Stanley Cup, and people, little bitch.
What?
Did I get him?
What is it?
There's a fucking spider on my ring light. I got cocksuckers in this right now. I'm sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little creepy calling Spider-Man little cocksucker. He's look at this motherfucker. He's all in here now, bitch. I hope he's dead. I don't want the thing crawling out. Dude, it's the problem now. I'm putting this in the water bottle, dog. I got a spider in a ball. Sorry. Legitimately, there was a spider over there.
Yeah,
I had
it's
to
all
take care
good.
of it.
Yeah.
It was threatening me, so I had to make sure I got. So is that animal abuse? Now I just murdered a spider? I was kidding. No.
PETA gets us taken down.
Yeah, it gets us taken down. Yeah, no, I just saw those like people swarming like vultures to grab a Stanley Cup, and it was a little cringe. But I don't know what it is about the Stanley Cup. People want the Galentine's Day one. I guess that's a big thing. That oh my.
Is it a Starbucks thing or what?
It's a Starbucks thing. Yeah, I think. I think Starbucks has like a line of them coming out or some shit. So I guess people all want that. Also, what are your thoughts on Valentine's Day? More specifically, Galentine's Day. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, like, traditionally, my girlfriend and I would typically like go out for food, or like I'd always. Well, actually, I didn't do it last year, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year. But every year since I knew her, have you ever heard of the Tiny Headed Kingdom?
No, what the hell's that?
They're a stuffed animal company that makes these
Oh
really
yeah,
dense, nice plushies that got tiny heads. And there's
yeah, I know
like
what you're talking about.
each one's an animal, and there's still quite a few I have to get her. They come out with like one new one a year. But I would get her one of those and like a box of chocolates or flowers for Valentine's Day. And honestly, I should probably do that this year. Last year I didn't get her that. I got her some candy, I think, but they're just, I don't know. We're trying to save money too for the house, so I'm sure she wouldn't mind, but I should at least bring her out to dinner. The problem is February 14th is like 4 days before the end of my cut. It's on the
Oh
19th.
damn,
So
so you're not gonna be eating nothing special.
maybe if I bring her out, like I'll just like have her just eat, and I'll just sit there.
Quietly while she eats a fucking lobster and a steak, and you'll just sit there quietly and look at it
Yeah,
patiently. Yeah,
fucking
no,
drooling.
treat yourself on that. No,
What do
I've
you think about it?
never actually celebrated Valentine's Day because never had anyone to celebrate it with, and I don't know if I will this year. Mostly because I don't fucking want to. It seems like a lot of work, but
It's not a
this
lot.
ga-
It's fun, dude. Just go do
yeah, I guess
something, you know.
it's fun.
Even
Mhm.
like I think what means more now as I get older, it's not like what you get them; it's the time you spend with them. And if you are gonna get them something, if it's something you can make with your hands, whether it's like a
Mm.
painting, ceramic piece, whatever,
My
people
ear
enjoy that a lot more.
in a
Your ear.
box
What are you
given to them,
fucking
delivered.
Da
Vincent Van
Vinci?
Gogh.
Oh yeah,
No,
that's what it was.
that's
Van
Vincent Van
Gogh.
Gogh. That's my boy Van Gogh right there. No, maybe I will do something, but I spend time with them any other day of the week. But Valentine's Day,
What is that?
it's a thing where it's like women
Single
celebrate being
women?
themselves. Yeah, but I've always saw it as kind of like
Go for it. I don't care.
I don't know. Where's the men version of Valentine's Day? What would we call it? Menentimes Day, Mennonite Day? Because it
We'll just
seems like
call
to
it
me
Men Day,
men,
Man
men,
Day.
men,
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 men. Yeah.
men,
See,
men,
we
men,
need
men,
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 men.
men, men. See, we need our. I mean, I'm a little bit mad. We need our own version of a Valentine's Day, and maybe stop caring about the women a little bit. No Valentine's Day. They're out of here. Get them out of here. I just read some really interesting statistics that are very fucked up. Mostly because Joe Rogan had this sex scientist on his podcast. She was very interesting. She talked about those like AI sex dolls and how that's going to be a huge problem really soon. It sounds like cringe, but it's actually very interesting to hear. But she said 30% of millennials, men, 30% of them are not having sex over within a year, like just not at all, and 20% of women who are millennials, which is a lot. It's like some of the highest numbers we've seen in like decades. People aren't fucking, so that's a problem. But I think we need to put more focus on
I
I don't
honestly
know.
think it's kind of a good thing. I just wish the people that weren't fucking were the stupid people that are just having kids and just keep repopulating and repopulating.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't
You
I
know,
think
it's kind of dystopian. I don't know if we talked about this on the cast before,
mhm.
but if
What
I
what?
if I could run society, everybody would be fixed at birth. And just like you have to get a house loan and fill out applications, you have to fill out an application to have a kid
Paul,
to
you're talking like
get
some type of
unfixed.
fucking Bond villain here. You're borderline some Maoist
Call me
shit that I don't
crazy.
know.
We're gonna have a real problem when everybody. It's gonna be. We're literally gonna turn into idiocracy, where everyone's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, that's not good. But also, I don't like your way, but that just reminds me of the China nose. Have you ever heard of the China nose, Paul?
Like
These are
no, like no.
nose, like no, like NO. So the China nose are like what young people are kind of going by, and this is what the CCP propaganda that they promote. So there's big let me just find the list. So there's big four no's that were in China for the longest time. You kind of know them. It's no dating, you never get married, you have no kids, and you don't own your house. That's just the four things in China that they want you to have, and it's pretty much already institutionalized. It's kind of how it is right now.
They don't
But
want
they
you
just added
dating.
nope, they don't want any of that. Dude, it's communist over there, Paul. It's literally just
Yeah,
communist. But they just added six more big no's to the list, and this is like from like the CCP saying young kids can't do this, and a lot of younger people are kind of following this
what
because
does
they don't really have a
CCP
choice.
stand for? Is that the government or?
The Chinese like I'm blanking on it. It's just the Chinese like government pretty much.
Okay,
I should know what it is. I'm just totally blanking on it right now. But
it's all good.
they added six more, which are no blood donations. Can't donate blood anymore. There's no investment. You can't play the lottery. You have no retirement fund, and you do not help the elderly, and you do not donate to charity. These are just things that they are implementing, and it's like kind of how it is over
Why
there.
don't you
I just gotta
help the elderly?
because there's like weird laws about um helping elderly and like sick care. Like if you help them and they die, like it's on your hands or some shit like that. Also, they think that if you're elderly, like it's time to get going. Like that's how dark they are. And I just watched the
They
video
don't
on that
allow
today. So
blood
it's definitely
donations? God, it just seems like
Mhm.
they just want the weakest people to die.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
and
That is the
like
main
and they don't
goal.
want anybody to reproduce. Well, that's what you hear. I mean, you don't get accurate numbers from China, but I hear from over there, like the men to women ratio is outstandingly different. Like there's so many more
It's
men, and
one for every 30 men, there's one woman, I believe, something
jeez.
like that. In Japan, it's right around the same thing too. It's
A
why it's a
lot of
huge
people say that's going to be their
um,
downfall.
oh, absolutely. Because if you can't reproduce, yeah, it's going to be a huge problem. It's why rapes and stuff are very common over there. Because there's just no women over there, and also why you get a lot of femboys over there. Because it's like, fuck, there's no women, might as well become one. Fuck it, that's kind of their
Ah, tiny
mentality. If you
lady
think about it.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lady. Dude, I bet there's a lady boy on every goddamn corner over there. I might have to pop over to Japan. It's weird because
Jesus
they hate gay
Christ.
marriage, but as soon as you put on a little lipstick and a dress, they're like, "It's okay, we fuck. It's cool. It's not gay. They in a dress. It's okay." This is what they think in their heads. Over in China over there. But I said it again, and I'll say it again right now. Fuck China. We are anti-China. I don't like China at all. I like the people there, not China. I think that's a
Yeah,
fair
I think their
statement to make.
government
Oh,
is horrible.
huge thing that just happened too. I want to real quick. I'll go over. That's really fucked up. Huge protests going on. Some of the biggest protests in China right now are happening in the last couple days
Is it
because
over the nose?
no, it's over. It's over. Fuck, let me just make sure I have this right because I just remembered it. The Chinese government wrongfully killed a very young child, like a 12-year-old boy, and they're claiming it as suicide. But the coroner's report shows that the kid was beaten to death, bruises,
Oh, I think I heard about
hemorrhage, and
this.
all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and there's huge outrage from the family. The family has already been approached. They've been pretty much bought out. That said, if you say anything, we're gonna fucking kill you. This is literally what they have to do. Um, so it's a huge outrage with that. A lot of protests going on. So it is nice, I guess, to see a little bit that the people of China are waking up and being like, "This is fucked up." But yeah, no, those
Here's the
squads,
problem,
dude.
dude.
If
They've
you're,
had
it's not like America, dude. If you're out there
yeah,
protesting, you're gone. Like,
yeah,
dude, that's
yeah.
it, dude. You're
That's what
done.
I'm saying is like it's great that they're protesting. The problem is it literally needs to be all of the people because if it's only
Oh,
some,
yeah.
just like it is in Russia and China half the time, those people that protested years ago about the privacy stuff when they were putting up cameras and having social credit
Hmm.
scores, those people are all dead if not in prison or completely so socially diminished there that they're somewhere doing fucking janitor work for menial
Hmm.
scraps just to stay alive. Like it's
Very
really fucked
scary.
up over there. Like we have it very good over here compared to a lot of other places. Now, are there probably other places that are a little better than us from some
No.
people's standpoints or opinions?
Hmm.
Maybe. Like a place like Norway is really like I didn't really realize like it's very similar to here. It's actually pretty sick. Like it's not. It's pretty. They have the lowest some of the lowest homeless. They have the lowest violent crime out of majority of any country, and um, I don't know.
Most amount
It's
of trans
that's
people can come out of there too. I'm wrong about that.
It's an
By the way.
interesting place, and there are other countries, just Norway, that I know could be seen as a little bit better than here. But yeah, don't get me wrong, we have a lot of freedoms here. We shouldn't take them for granted. When you're in a place like that has communism running rampant, like China or Russia, like you're fucked, man. Like there isn't much you can do.
Hmm.
Which is
Yeah.
why, like, I feel like we take for granted in the United States family, where those other places don't as much, because that's like the only thing you can stay close to. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like
Well,
without going fucking nuts.
how about I take stuff for granted? Why can't I take my family for granted? Like I've had them so long, I'll take them for granted. I don't care. I don't care how anyone else
Thanks.
feels. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, not just my family, but I'll take America for granted. Yeah, we live in the greatest country, and I'm gonna treat it terribly. All right, that's fine. Some things you're allowed to take for granted. You know what I mean? Maybe not family. Maybe that was a bad example.
Yeah,
But
bad example.
anything else you can take for granted. Trust me. Trust me on that one. But yeah, anti-China. No more China.
Jackson, would you like to do a tier list?
I would like to do a tier list. I was waiting. I was waiting. Paul's
He
got a
was
special
waiting.
tier list. I have
All
no
right,
idea what
ladies
it
and
is.
gentlemen that are watching the video cast, give me 1 second to move everything
Mhm.
over here while Jackson
And shout
entertains you.
out, yeah, and shout out to y'all watching the video. I appreciate that. That's the best way to enjoy Gutterball, I think, in my opinion, because you get both our beautiful faces on screen. And if you're an audio listener, we love you, but this one's gonna be a little rough unless you know what we're talking about here. So why don't you go ahead and pop over to the YouTube and watch the video, man? It ain't gonna take that long. I don't know what you're doing at work. Prop it up while you're working and watch
Well,
Gutterball.
this tier list we're doing is quite popular, so I will say that there are some listeners that maybe just listen to the audio only, or just listen, not even watching the video on YouTube, just listening to the audio on YouTube, that might kind of like, understand what we're gonna
Mhm.
rank here. So
Oh,
without
I'm just making
further
a
ado,
recommendation that you
oh
watch it best way
yeah,
possible. But yeah, no, you'll get the gist of it. I appreciate your listening, Foster. I think you're the only one that listens. Thank you.
yeah.
That doesn't watch. Oh, I knew it was Breaking Bad. As soon as you said this is a pretty popular show, I'm like, oh, it's Breaking Bad. Oh,
All
we're
right,
gonna be
guys,
bad.
we got a Breaking Bad character tier list here. It's the first tier list in a while. I think the last one we did was Serial with Ricky, which went on a long time and it was very controversial, but it was a good tier list.
That
Um,
did. I think that was like an hour and a half of just arguing because there's a
about
lot of serials to
Serial,
go through. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man. Well, there's a lot of Breaking Bad characters, and I cut some, and I tried to get, even though there are some side characters here that are maybe only in an episode or two or aren't that impactful, I feel like what they've done was impactful for the story.
Mhm.
So, well,
Let's,
without further ado, let's get
yeah.
ripping here. Start off with an easy one. Hector Salamanca.
Hector Salamanca. Okay. Now, I gained a lot more respect for Hector after seeing him in Better Call Saul. He's a mean son of a bitch, you
Yeah.
know. He's a fucker. And the greatest scene is when he plays the DEA agents where he like shits his pants and he like
Yeah,
won't rat
that's a
out
good
because he's
scene.
OG. So I'm just gonna go right off the bat and say he's a B. He's a B'er for
He is
sure,
a
in my
B,
opinion.
and I agree. And my favorite scene of him is honestly when he blows up Gus, because like the dinging and working with
Mhm.
Walter is just, it's great.
Well, yeah,
So
the man has a really good facial expression, especially for a character that can't talk. You know, you
100%.
when he does the face, you know he's in such anguish, you know, and pissed about it, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
solid
How
B.
about I forget his last name, but Ed the vacuum man, the man
Yeah,
that will make you disappear for a
disappear.
certain fee. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name. The disappear. Now, the
He just
disappear is
recently
good.
passed away as well, so R.I.P. to
Yeah,
that man.
yeah. R.I.P. to that guy. Now, I really like this disappear. He's a little bit of an asshole though, making
He is a
Jesse pay
prick.
twice.
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah.
like it's first pickup, you got to pay for it, right? So he kind of fucks him over there. Very small Robert Forster. Robert Forster, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He did go and play cards with Walt when he asked. He's like $2,000 for him to stay for like a couple hours to play cards, you know, because Walt was over there dying. So that's a real one. I don't know. I'm thinking like a solid like a
I,
C or D, Paul.
I
What are
think
you thinking on
I
him?
think we're gonna do D, because I feel like we're gonna end up having a lot of C's, and we can maybe, but at the end we can do a quick once over and move him if we need to. I'd say
Hmm.
he's right in there. He's in between here or
Okay.
something. Cool. Wendy, you've seen her
Wendy.
throughout. I think maybe now this is, don't get me wrong, this is a Breaking Bad universe character list, I should say. This isn't necessarily just Breaking Bad. There are some characters here that maybe just appear in El Camino, or more so in El Camino, or just in Better Call Saul.
Hmm.
But Wendy, I think, was mainly just in Breaking Bad. I don't think she was in El Camino or Better Call Saul. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think El Camino, but she might have been in Better Call Saul at one point. I don't know why. I just feel like I've
Well,
seen her.
maybe she is. She's a nasty bitch whore. I kind of want to put her in an F or an E. Maybe an
Why
E
an
if I'm
F or
feeling
an E? She kind of holds it together. She lies for Jesse. You know, she gets the root
Yeah, that
beer.
is okay.
You
That's
know,
true. Oh, an
she's
E
gonna
then.
she's gonna suck off. What's his name? Walter Jr. is pretty good. I don't know. They harass her, looking for a Wendy. Wendy.
Looking for a
Yeah.
Wendy.
Just shout out to all our women on the streets. I think Paul's doing her dirty. Personally, I'd put her in fucking S tier for being a star that she is, but you can put her wherever you
Fuck
want.
you.
She's a
You're a
woman of the
lying sack of
streets. She's
shit.
hard. Nah, I'd put her at S tier, but whatever. Put her down there.
Okay. Well, would
Dunking
you
on the sex
agree
workers.
on D?
Agree on D. We could do D. Agree on S only, but we could do D. I'm not gonna make that fight.
Okay. Next, we got Crazy 8, who
Crazy
was
Eight.
brutally, you see him more in Better Call Saul, brutally murdered by fucking Walter, choked to death. He's trying to stab him. Remember?
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, brutally
And then he
choked
gets
out in like the first
beat up
3
by
episodes.
Nacho too. He
Yeah.
gets the shit kicked out of him.
This
Crazy
guy's just
Eight
a
is
fucking piece of
he's a
shit.
weasel. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
skinny little
yeah.
weasel. I'd put him in F tier just for being
Yeah.
a fucking little
Fuck,
weasel. I don't like
fuck
him at
this
all.
guy.
He's not. He tries to act tough, but he's really not. After you see him get his ass whooped, you know he's not tough. You know. But
Yeah,
yeah, no
fuck you,
respect for
Crazy
Crazy
Eight.
Eight. Fuck Crazy Eight.
All right, next up, Kim Wexler. I like Kim. I'm a big
I
fan
really
of
like
Kim
him
Wexler.
too.
Honestly,
Very
she
cool.
may be an A tier character.
She might be an A or an S tier character, and I'll tell you why. She keeps it pretty real. She went along with Jimmy's nonsense, did some scamming. You know, she did a little bit of scamming. You're putting her in C. I don't know. I put her in
No,
A.
I was just
Yeah,
resizing her.
she does some scamming. You know, with Saul, which I really like. And she ends up getting kind of one of the worst outcomes in the show. You know,
You
she
think
has
so?
to like. Well, yeah, she has to change her name and go get fucked by that guy that's really gross and annoying. You know, it just seems she has such a mundane life compared to what she had. Had to give up
Yeah,
her whole practice. That
that's very
Howard
true.
stuff really fucked her up. So yeah, she got dunked on pretty hard, in my opinion. Not as hard as
Yeah,
Jasmine, but she got dunked on.
and she's an incredible. Whoever plays her, I forget her name. She's an incredible actor. Ray Seahorn or something like that, or something Seahorn. I don't remember her name, but
Seahorse.
Seahorse, yeah. No, I
Mhm.
like Kim. I feel like yeah, she did kind of get the short end of the stick as far as the ending, but she got one of the better endings if you consider all the other main characters in the most part. I mean, would you rather be in prison or dead? I mean, I think we'll talk about it when we get to the other characters. They're definitely a character I'm thinking of that got probably the best ending out of everybody, but
I'd rather die.
that's fair. Let's go Walter Jr. Breakfast.
Okay. Walter Jr., OG. You know why? Because the only time he comes into the show is to get food or complain to his parents.
Yeah,
So
and
he
he's
would
just,
honestly be S tier. He's great.
yeah.
He's just an
Let's put-
instigator.
yeah, he's just like he's kind of sus, dude. Like I don't trust him a little bit, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a really big power move to change
He's
his
an
name to
S tier.
Flynn and not
Yeah.
tell Walter. Like
Yeah.
that's badass, dude. And respect to him. You
Yeah,
know.
he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to be associated with him.
Yeah.
All right, Bogdan, the car wash owner before Walter, just a fucking asshole.
Asshole. He is a total dick. Yeah, the scene where they try to go buy back or he goes and gets the car wash from him, and he takes Bogdan's first dollar. He's like, Bogdan as is, and he takes the dollar and puts it in the Coke machine. That was a flex.
Remember when they hire Bill Burr's character to do the environmental samples? He's like, this is fucked. Yeah. We'll get to him. He's on this list. Patrick Kuby is his name or whatever.
Is it? That's
Yeah.
funny. You can put him in E or F. I don't like that guy at all.
I don't like him
you
either.
and your
I think
eyebrows.
he's F. Yeah, fuck you and your eyebrows. I love that. Yeah, he takes the first dollar and just puts it in the fucking register right in front of him.
Yeah.
Just the amount of disrespect.
Zero fucks. Fuck that guy.
Lalo Salamanca, Better Call Saul character antagonist. He's fucking sinister, man. He's got
Very
patience.
sinister.
He's very charming, but evil.
He's the smartest of the Salamancas, 100%.
100%.
He's like Tuco in the way of violence, but not as crazy and more methodical about it. Honestly, I'm surprised. Honestly, having Gus killed him was one of the stupidest things they've ever done in the show.
I think it was dumb too.
I don't think Lalo would have been caught like that at all. And honestly, if Lalo, I mean, I guess he couldn't have killed Gus, obviously, but yeah, I just wish there was some cooler way he went out because he was
I think
a
it would have
badass.
been cooler if Mike killed him somehow.
Yeah. So I would put him in a solid B or a C tier, maybe even an A, but he's a good character.
I was thinking
Just put him
B.
in B. Yeah. He's a
He is
menace.
a good character. Yeah,
When he's sitting down in the sewers filming Gus's house, like that's badass, dude. He was about that life too.
Yeah. He knew something was up. He knew they were fucking him around, like something was going on. All right. Jack, I forget his last name, but he's the Nazi uncle of Todd. Yeah. Just a piece of shit. Just a piece of shit henchman. This guy pretty easily F tier for me. And and what do you think?
Put him in E because when Walt was gonna shoot him, he takes out the cigarette and lights it, then says, "Okay, go ahead." So that was fucking badass.
That was cool.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care. So he held it together. Real racist piece of garbage, though. Terrible.
Yeah.
I like the scene where they're all
and he
in the
killed
hotel.
Hank. Fuck him.
Yeah, he did kill Hank. I love the scene where they're planning the hits, and he's like, "It ain't gonna go, man. It's a tight window, man." And Walt goes, just do it. And he
Yeah,
walks out of the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
room. So yeah, he's every scene he's in, he steals. I think that guy recently passed away too. Honestly, I can't
Oh,
remember his
really?
name, but he's in a lot of shit. So yeah,
All
solid dude.
right. Ted Beneke, just a fucking weasel. Like, I remember when he
Oh yeah,
breaks his neck when he's running from heel and fucking in Patrick. That was so
yeah.
funny. Fucking sleeps with Skylar, and then won't confront Walt after Walt comes to confront him. Just a little pussy hiding in his office. What do you think about Ted Beneke?
Takes all the money and dips. I'd put
Yeah,
him in F. He's a fucking piece of shit. Honestly,
he's
he
doing
got
illegal.
lucky. He got off that way. To be honest,
Yeah,
like
like
I
especially
feel
with
like
Walter being involved. I'm surprised Walter didn't have him fucking killed.
well, see, this was like had to have been season 3, Walter, correct, or at least 4. So
Yeah,
I don't think he was so crazy at that
Psycho.
point. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
misremembering, but I think if we had him like a season later, like season 5, Walter would have had him killed 100% for sure.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, he did get fucked up, and he deserves it. So
All right. Skinny Pete of the three trio combo, Skinny and Badger, Jesse's friends. Skinny Pete, meth head. They're a little bit of scumbags, but they do help Jesse when he needs help. And they help Walt when he needed help too. So they're not loyal, but I don't know, they're there.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing I love
or
about
they
them.
are loyal, is what I should say.
They're one of the 2 characters, Badger and Skinny Pete. Do you have Badger on here too? I feel like we
Oh
can
yeah.
knock out Badger and Skinny Pete.
Here,
if
let
we
me
can
find them. And I got Combo.
They're a little bit of a pair. Oh yeah, even Combo. Maybe we should just do his whole gang right now. But anyway, Skinny Pete gives Jesse his hat, keeps it real. Badger and Skinny Pete are the only 2 characters that really never start anything, but they do finish it. He gets robbed that one time, Skinny Pete. But no, I love Skinny Pete because he's in the interrogation room, and they're like, "Where is he?" He's like, "Even if I knew where he was, I ain't gonna tell y'all because that's worse than what he had to go through." So they kept it cool. Also, him and Badger, their friendship is so awesome because every time you see him, they're just sitting smoking weed and talking about like Left 4 Dead and arguing.
Yeah.
And that's how the show ends, is with them being best friends. So I think they have a good life. And it looks
think,
like they have their own apartment. I think they got clean too.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what I
Yeah.
think that's what happened in El Camino, is that they were clean. So I want to almost put both of them in A tier.
Yeah, I'd put them in A or B. Yeah. And I like how they felt bad about doing the laser pointers. They're like, I don't know, man. When they're be assassins.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I feel bad about that. Now, Combo is a different story. He did get Jesse that RV. He did steal it from his parents, however, which is a little fucked up.
Yeah. He does get murdered. He gets gunned down by a child.
Yeah, he does. I feel like
I think he's a C tier.
I think he's a C too. I don't even know if I put him in C. Maybe D, because I
don't know if
I'd put him above Wendy for sure. Because at least Wendy sucks her dick, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, at least you're getting your fucking pole shined, Yeah. Okay, Jane, one of Jesse's few girlfriends throughout the show. Kind of a problem, blackmailing Walt, junkie. I never really liked her, and even though it was fucked up to watch Walt watch her fucking overdose and not help her.
Did you cheer?
No.
Yeah, overdose. Yeah, I was cheering. I don't know about you. I like her aesthetic. She's kind of hot. Would fuck. Saying.
Oh yeah, I mean she plays Jessica Jones. She's not attractive.
Yeah, I'd put her in an E or a D.
Yeah,
solid.
I was thinking E. I don't know. Putting her on the same level as a fucking Nazi is probably a little rude. So let's actually put her in D.
As a fucking Nazi. I mean, to be fair, you put people below Nazis. Was that even weird? Like more rude?
Crazy.
Like, those guys are worse. No, dude, listen, they're worse than Nazis. These guys right here are worse than Nazis. Crazy Jane, he's just annoying. He's worse than a Nazi.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're gonna
we're gonna get
you're gonna have to explain why Jack is an E because he did that badass thing where he smokes a cigarette. Everyone else can be like, what the fuck? How bad are these people? Let that be a lesson, though. If you're worse than a Nazi, you need to shape up a little bit,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gail Bedecker, the other meth genius, the chemistry genius.
I like Gail, but
I like Gail too.
Just a little pussy, obviously, and I don't think he would have lasted in that business, to be honest.
I don't think so either. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there, to be real with you.
No, I think Gus kind of somewhat knew that he couldn't keep him, because I feel like once Gale saw something fucked up, he was out, and he was just gonna get killed.
Well, that and like he had to kind of shelter Gale from the type of business that was going on. I mean, Gale obviously knew it was illegal,
Hmm.
but he didn't realize all like the cartel shit involvement and just like how dark it is. But I think you're right. If Jesse wouldn't have popped him, he was gonna get killed some other way.
Or he's gonna get picked up and squeal. See,
Yeah.
when I know a squealer, and that's a squealer right there.
Oh yeah.
Let's do that Joker bit. But yeah, he's a
I
squealer.
honestly think he might be our first C tier character because I don't really feel much about him. Yeah, it sucks he died. I think he was a little annoying, but
I don't think it sucks he died at all. But yeah, he had that shitty karaoke and he made some good coffee is all I remember about him. But he would have flipped. He would have flipped.
he would have. Skylar White, very controversial
Mm.
character in the community of
Mhm.
Breaking Bad fans, or just the shows in general, just because people are like, "Oh, I hate Skylar. She's a bitch." Blah blah blah. She cheats on. Well, I agree. You also have to take into account this though, which doesn't really count because it's based on the character. Is she's a really good fucking actor. She's
Mhm.
a really
Skylar
good
Gunn.
actor. Anna Gunn,
Oh, it's her
Skylar
name's
White.
Skylar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Um,
stupid. Yeah.
but what do you think about her as a character? Annoying for sure, but she had to be that. Now, the fact that she even went along with Walt, even after them disagreeing, is kind of surprising to me.
Hmm. Biggest mistake was letting her get involved in the business. She is a
100%.
stupid bitch. In fact, a dumb bitch that I
You
don't like.
stupid bitch. Yeah, that's what
You
he says on the
stupid
phone.
bitch. You know, I all this, the whole entire plot could have been like avoided if she's like, Walt, if you don't let Elliot and Gretchen pay for this, I'm taking Walter Jr. and I'm leaving. She just said that. It probably would have been all fine. I think she's a little bit more assertive then. Also giving away all Walt's money puts her down a little bit.
Yeah.
Paul, I don't know. I feel like she's an E or a D just for being a bitch, but
I think she's a D, and also, now that I'm thinking about it, I think this guy's a C.
I
Like
do
we're,
like Robert Forster
like we
as
were
the
talking
superhero.
about.
I was thinking about
Because
that.
you have to understand his character's he's only been in that business so long because he is that cautious and that much of a dickhead.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
so we'll put Skylar in D for sure, based on the character. But Anna Gunn is an actor, phenomenal in that role. I mean, she made you hate her.
Yeah, I
um,
know. It really, really did.
let's pull out Gretchen Schwartz, and like we could just do these two together, Elliot and Gretchen, the two that owned Gray Matter, or well, Elliot owned Gray Matter with Walt, co-partner, and then like Walt left. And honestly, I don't know. What do you feel about them?
They're both lying weasels, especially when they were on TV saying that Walt had nothing to do with gray matter, except he literally made the entire company. And
Yeah,
the
that
fact
was
that
fucked up.
Gretchen had the balls to say that he just up and dipped, but he was just sad that he couldn't fuck her. That's kind of why.
Yeah,
A little bit of Walt's fault. He can take some blame for that. But the fact that they lied on TV and stuff. But assuming they did give the money to Walt's kids and his wife, because we
yeah.
don't know. We never got confirmation that they actually did that. I'm just gonna assume they did at the threat of getting killed. Um, that gives them a little bit more points, but I'd put them in a solid E or D because they're not
I'm making
terrible
an E.
people, but they are pretentious fucks, But they're not murders or
Actually, they
anything.
might be D.
Yeah, I feel like if you put them on E, it's like they're not Nazis though. So
Yeah,
at least there's that.
they're
They're not
not.
Nazis.
They're not Nazis. That is
Hmm.
100%. Now, is Gretchen isn't the same lady as the principal at the school Walter tries to fuck, right? Those are two separate people.
No, it's definitely a different person. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Yeah, because
For
Gretchen
some
was like smart too, so like
yeah.
should be doing that.
Okay. Uh Steve Gomez, Hank Schrader's
Gomi.
partner in crime, Gomi, DEA.
Mhm.
What do you think of Steve? I like Steve. Think he keeps it real?
He does hold it down pretty well. He tells Hank when it is enough, always based in reality. He's a pragmatist. He's very based in reality. Very sad to see him go too. Have you seen their him and whatever that actor's name is? I don't know Hank's actors, or excuse me, Gomi's actor either, but they have that audition tape for Breaking Bad where they're on the playground. Have you seen
No.
that?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. I think he's funny. I put him in a solid B or an A. He holds it down, keeps
I
it
think
real.
he's a B.
A lot of people don't like him because he did kind of take that El Paso job from Hank. But first of all, Hank didn't speak fucking English, so he shouldn't have even been down to El Paso at all. That was stupid. They should have given it to Gomi in the
And but
first
then
place.
once he went to El Paso, he got fucking PTSD. Hank did. So it's just like
Right, yeah. Why didn't you send Gomi at all, But then they come back and team up, But he always had his back.
yeah.
Never faltered.
They
Always
they
kept it
they
real.
came to terms. All right,
Mhm.
the cousins. Now they don't really actually have the names. It's just the cousins in the wiki.
No, they have names. They have
Okay.
them. Better Call Saul. I don't know what their names are, but they definitely have names. I remember.
Now these two are some menacing fucks. They're evil.
Hmm.
They get their fucking the brakes beaten off of them by Hank.
Hmm.
Um,
Which is surprising after that huge firefight in Better Call Saul. Remember where they're just
yeah,
icing people,
dude,
dude?
they're
That was so
killing
badass.
everybody.
Yeah. Those guys are badass. Very ceremonial. You know, with taking out the axe, one of the axe Hank in the fucking head. Like that's
Yeah,
badass. I'm thinking it's solid B or an A for these
I was
guys. Every
thinking a
time they're on
B.
screen, you're either scared or know someone's gonna get fucked up, and it's pretty much true. Um, really, really cool. I like those guys. Good actors too.
Yeah, yeah, they're great, and they're just so stoic and the same facial expression. They're
Hmm.
scary.
My favorite scene is when they get down and they start crawling to like the
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
whatever god they're praying, but that's cool.
Mike Ehrmantraut. Mike's got to be one of my favorite characters, man.
He's probably my
He's
favorite
probably an
character.
A or an S. He might even be an S tier.
He's an S. I'm gonna go just right off the straight S. I don't even know if I need to explain myself for Mike. Like it's
No,
Mike.
Mike is
Yeah. Um.
he's the most head on straight guy, ex cop, trying to
Mhm,
just do good for his family when it didn't work out for him being a real cop. And
mhm.
I feel like wasn't he a dirty cop?
He was a dirty cop for a while. So Mike does do some shitty things throughout the series. I'm not gonna say he's a saint. Like he is a shitty person. He
Like
probably
remember
deserves
when
to
he
be
had to
in
kill
jail.
the architect dude and he felt
Yeah.
so bad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he is a shit person. Probably like overall if you're looking, but in terms of like I don't know, just character development and kind of like seeing what caused him to do it. You know how those corrupt cops killed his son, so he's like, "Fucking, I'm gonna go do this," and how he came across Gus and all that. He holds it together. He's a real one, and he was always like immune. Like there's a scene where him and Gus are in the desert meeting, and it's about Nacho's dad. Like Gus wants to go and kill Nacho's dad, and he's like, "No, I won't let you do that." And
Yeah.
they're in the desert, and that one guy, Cyrus, is about to pull out his gun, and he's like, "I promise this is not gonna end how you want it," because I knew he had snipers all around that place, and if he didn't come out, they were just gonna light it up. So he
Yeah.
always had one step ahead. He was literally untouchable by everybody. I think he outsmarts everyone in the show. So
It's
S
very
tier.
true. And the way he died pissed me off, honestly,
So lame.
because it was
So lame.
so just like out of pocket.
Mhm.
I hate that it was Walt that did it, but
So lame.
I'm glad that he at least just got to bleed out in peace.
Right?
I
Yeah,
kind of
I
wish he would have
guess.
gotten away though. Walter just fucking poisoned everything he touched at that point once he was
He
that.
did. He did.
Victor, and we'll do
The
this guy
box cutter
next.
guy with
Yeah,
his
the guy
throat cut.
he was the right hand man before what's his name? Tyrus?
Tyrus, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This guy's just a fucking
E or
prick.
D. I don't know, or maybe an F.
This
Just put
guy's
him in.
worse
I
than
don't know
Almonds.
enough about him. I know.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he is kind of a prick. He doesn't have much screen time either. But
He
yeah,
doesn't.
the best thing he did was get his throat cut open.
He
Just
tries to
literally
he
his throat.
tries to cook the batch because he's been watching him the whole time, and Gus just had it.
Yeah, right. Well, no, so there's a couple of ways to interpret that scene. Is that why you think Gus killed him? Why do you think Gus killed him?
Uh,
Just curious.
I don't think Gus killed him because of cooking it.
Hmm.
Maybe he did, as far as like, hey, you should know your place. Why did you do that? Killed him for that reason. But also, I think he killed him to prove a point to Walter and Jesse
Okay.
that I
You know
own
what?
you, and
So
it doesn't
there's
matter if somebody else can cook your product, kind of deal. Maybe to put some scare
right.
into them.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why people think he killed him, but the biggest one for me, and I immediately thought this watching it too, he was at Gail Bedeker's crime scene
That's right. Yep, I
after he
forgot
died,
about that.
and
Yeah,
there's someone that specifically says that looks at him and says, "Hey, you can't go in there." So my interpretation was, and a
he
lot of
got
people think this
seen.
is dumb, he killed him because he was at that crime scene and he knew it, and it was just gonna get tied back to him if they say, "Oh yeah, this random dude just ran up, looked in the doorway, and ran away. I've never seen him before. Here's the description of the guy, and here's
Yeah,
him on camera running in there." Would have came back to Gus, but I heard a lot of people say no, that's not why he killed him. They killed him just to send a message or that he can kill anybody, but I think it
yeah.
was because of that,
I
100%.
think you're right.
What?
And I remember reading about that. Yeah. It's like definitely
Mhm.
getting seen and having it get tied back. Now, maybe not that big of a deal because the guy kind of seemed like a ghost, anyways. But
Yeah,
all right.
definitely.
Tyrus, who kind of filled in after Victor, he gets killed in the bomb explosion with Gus, right?
He does, yeah. He doesn't say much. He's always kind of menacing, willing to bang at any point. seems like ready to throw down. And
I put him in an
yeah, I'd
E.
put
I
him in
like
an
him more than
E or a
Victor.
D. Yeah, put him in the Nazi. Throw him in the Nazi.
Just because of that cigarette scene. We're gonna get so much shit for that.
Yeah, we are.
I can already see the comments. Um,
Perfect.
who do you want to do next? Pick one. I'll drag him out.
I see Chuck. I see Chuck. I see him hiding behind that.
Shorty
That
got the
little
fatty.
sneaky sort of got the fatty. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, there's that one. I'm not even gonna say it, but it's bad. He's like, go ahead, call the police. They can't un-R you. And it's like, that's
Yeah.
terrible. That's
Yeah.
the worst meme ever. But it would be something Chuck said.
Yeah.
Um,
He's kind of a
Chuck is
pussy little bitch.
he's a slimy
He's
little
so
fuck.
annoying. Yeah. He's
Um,
just always out for Jimmy just because Jimmy's been kind of a bit of a scumbag his whole life.
mhm. Faking his illness. 100% is fake.
You think he's
There's
faking it?
there's dozens of times where Saul proves that he is faking it, and other
Oh, that's
doctors
right.
do, like putting the battery in his pocket, or like the the
That's right.
fucking
Yeah,
the
they do.
doctor at the hospital turns on the machine and he doesn't know it. And
Yep.
it just makes sense. If you were affected by electrical currents, you would have a problem with them if you didn't know where they were. But he only has a problem when he knows where you were, which is it's just some form of schizophrenia where I believe because your body can make up shit like that. Like if you give someone a placebo, like a random pill, a sugar pill, and say they're gonna have headaches if you take this pill, they will literally develop headaches because your brain just does that. So I believe
Yeah,
he thinks he has an illness, but he's just a little whiny little bitch.
I
So you can
agree.
put him in E or F.
I was thinking
Very,
E.
yeah. Did bail out Jimmy that couple times. But fucked over his brother overall. Kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Don't like him.
It just seemed like he always had it out to get Jimmy, and if Jimmy was doing better than him, he was jealous.
Mm. Let's
Marie
do
Schrader.
Marie. Okay, so Marie, kleptomaniac, cunt, bitch,
I like
almost
that
as
she likes
worse.
purple.
Almost as worse. I'm not even. I'm even comment on that. I'm just kidding. Almost as worse as Skylar. If she goes above Skylar, I'm gonna be pissed. She's like a D or an E at least. Stealing
I
all
think
that
she's
shit.
an E. I know we're filling up E here on these last few, but I
Put
think
her in
she's an
E.
E.
Paul, if Paul, hypothetically, if I gave you a golden tiara and then you go and return it to the store and it turns out it was stolen and then you almost get arrested for it, you're not talking to me for a long time,
Because
right?
that's what she
Like,
did for Skylar, right?
yeah, that we're done. Like, you do that to me, we're done for like at least a couple years. Like for real, we're done talking, you know.
Yeah.
But she forgave him very quickly. But that was a fucked up thing to do. I always think about that. So fuck you, you bitch.
Howard Hamlin.
Oh, and another thing about them, very interesting. If you watch their costumes throughout the start of the show, Skylar and why am I blanking her name?
Marie.
The sister Marie. I can't believe I'm blanking her name. I'm tripping.
It's all good.
Their costumes get darker and darker as like they go through like stages of becoming shittier and shittier people. It's very just
Gotcha.
only their
What's
characters. Though.
interesting is Marie's getting shittier and shittier has almost no relation to Walt's situation. It's just related to Hank being fucking stressed out when he gets like
Mm-hmm.
crippled for that small while, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's what's
She tried.
interesting is you literally like watch her dwindle in her own different way
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone had a really great analysis
till
of
the
them.
very end. Oh, really?
Mhm. Howard Hamlin. Now, poor Howie got the worst of it, man.
He got the
He didn't do
worst.
nothing wrong. He actually was trying to help Jimmy most of the time if he could. He did
He
fuck him over
could.
that
He
once or
did.
twice,
Yeah, he did
but
do a few snively things at the beginning.
he definitely did. But all of
In the
that, in
end,
my
he
opinion, was
real
based off of Chuck.
that too. And in the
Mhm.
end, he realized Jimmy really wasn't as big of a scumbag. I think that Chuck was
Chuck
playing him
was
up to
leading
be.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every decision he made against Jimmy, Chuck was on the shoulder telling him. And then eventually he's like, fuck it. I got to tell Jimmy that Chuck's being a fucking cunt, you know, and I like him.
Yeah.
Um, Easily a B or an A, holds it together real, very sad with his whole wife and everything, how
I think
that's
it's a
happening.
B. Yeah.
And he didn't deserve all that shit that happened. Though sending prostitutes to him at lunch is pretty funny. Like that,
That
if you
is
ever want to
funny.
prank someone, that's fucking hilarious to do. Yeah, no, definitely a B. Didn't deserve to get shot in the head. One of the most shocking scenes in TV I think I've seen ever,
Do you
maybe,
like it
except
like
for the
that?
nachos.
Do you like
Yeah,
Howard
perfect.
like
Put him like that.
that?
Yeah, do our boy even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I really like how too in Breaking Bad they're like, yeah, there's two bodies under the lab, and we never know who the two bodies are under the lab until we watch
And
Better
until you
Call
watch
Saul.
Better Call Saul, and you
Yeah.
know that that's Lalo and Howard, and it's funny how
Mhm.
one of them murdered the other one in a completely different spot.
Yeah, right. Pretty
It's
much.
just
Yeah.
crazy how it all tied together. Very good writing by
Brilliant.
them.
Brilliant. Well, if we're
Um,
gonna do people shot in the head, let's do Nacho then.
Oh God, poor Nacho, man.
Mm-hmm. Got swept up in it. Knew he was fucked. Went into enemy territories. Knew he couldn't get out. That was the only way to make sure his father didn't get touched. Because I think if he killed any of the Salamancas before that, his father was going to get murdered. But decided just to end it. One of the most shocking deaths. I was like,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't think he
just
was real,
capped
bro.
himself. Yeah,
I
I
thought
didn't
it
think
was
he
like
blew his head
fake.
off.
And Mike could have saved him, but I think Mike knew that he shouldn't have because again, his dad would have been killed, and then Mike would have been in that territory too. It would have been a really bad situation for him. Um, yeah, always had those two bitches on his arm, two crackheads, always fucking them. So that's cool. Very
I think
badass.
he's a B.
He's a B, solid B or an A, 100%. Keeps it real. Love Nacho. Shout out Nacho.
And wasn't he fucking Voss in Far Cry 3? That's who they based
Mm-hmm.
it off of. Yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
All
He's a nut
right.
job.
Huel Babineau.
Good old Hugh Babineau. Did you know he once saved a whole entire congregation of church from a fire?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's put them as a pair, actually. I guess
Yeah,
because they're every time you
Patrick.
see one, you see the other, except
For
for
the
Better
most
Call
part.
Saul.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
the most part. Actually, you're right. Maybe separate. So Heel, Better Call Saul holds it together. He goes up and smacks that cops in the head. Remember, he hits that cop with the shopping bag, like
Yeah.
no hesitation, just knocks him out to protect Saul. Always kept it real. There's one scene that I really like that he did that I can't remember, but it was just like how he reacted to like Jesse's death. He's like, "Oh man, I didn't know he gonna kill him. I didn't know he gonna kill him."
The
And
who?
when Hank makes it look like Walt killed Jesse to get
Oh, yeah.
healed to Blab, and he's like, "I didn't know he's gonna kill him, man. Shit." And I just like that scene. But yeah, no, he's cool. I put him in a solid B or C. Easy. I don't
Yeah,
know
I'll
what else
put
you got to say about him.
yeah, I just like him because he's spicy. I do agree with a C. He's kind of on that same tier as the vacuum guy.
Hmm.
Um, I'm kind of rethinking Gale being here, but again, he was a solid character.
I'm thinking
Um,
he's lower, maybe like a D now. Now that I see him,
yeah, now that I see it,
just don't like
Gale,
him. Yeah,
yeah,
he's not
fuck
as
that.
cool as a heel. We can't put him as a heel.
No.
Now, Bill Burr's
Patrick,
character, Patrick.
yeah, yeah.
Patrick who? What was his name?
Cubby,
QB? Cubby?
Kubby.
Okay.
He's pretty spicy.
Hmm.
I like
Bill
every
Burr
time
just
he show.
he just works his way into every TV show somehow.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
It doesn't
does.
even look like him. Like I didn't even know that was him at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew of him when I watched it.
Yeah,
Maybe I
same.
didn't. But
I like
I
it. I think
liked
it was
him,
spicy. I think he's on the same level as Huel, if not a level below,
honestly. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Uh,
throw him in C. He's pretty smart. Doesn't have a lot of screen time, but when he does, it's very memorable, at least in my opinion.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, to him. Who
Download
else?
audio. Donald
Download.
audio.
Fuck that. Yeah, download audio, and it's like, yeah, I don't know how to describe that meme. Like, you couldn't. Like, unless if you know, you know. Download audio. Don audio. That's so dumb.
Donald
I like how your
audio.
mind went to that. No, it's such a niche meme. Like, that's so funny.
For those
Don
of you
audio.
listening, there's Don Eladio from like Breaking Bad and just Breaking Bad. Fucking, there's a meme where it just shows like a Google search and it says download audio, and then it has an arrow pointing to it and a picture of Don Eladio's face.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be like Don Aldio, it's like, oh, download audio. Don Aldio. Don Alato. Yeah, no. That's funny. That's
Oh,
funny
that's
as fuck.
good.
It's so
That's
dumb.
so
And
fucking
it's like a
stupid.
shitty 360 JPEG. Dude,
Yeah.
he is a menace.
He's a
Um
shitbag. He
he
fucking
is
has
a
Gus's
shitbag.
lover killed right in front of him, dude. Like,
Yeah, right in front of his face. Yeah, alleged lover.
yeah.
No, definitely is. Gus is gay as fuck. Don't know if he tops or bottom. We got to figure that one out. But no, he's always. It's weird for the amount of screen time he has, and how like he doesn't do much horrific shit like himself, aside from
Yeah.
order in it. He commands so much respect and power, and he's so feared.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
what it is
and
about
he's
him. Everyone's
very
just super scared of him.
charismatic. He's almost as
Very
charismatic
charismatic.
as Lalo, but maybe not as much. Maybe if we had more scenes, we'd see more. But
Hmm. I put him in a D or an E, easy. I don't
I think
think
he's
there's much
a
more to him.
yeah. I think he's an E just simply because we haven't seen that much.
Hmm.
Because I feel like some of these people at the bottom, you just don't see enough of them, and
No.
especially like Victor. or just character
Well,
wise, you don't
yeah.
see enough. You maybe see them, but you don't see much action from them.
Now we're
Okay.
getting into the core. Get rid of Lydia here, because then we're getting into the core
Yeah,
characters.
yeah, we got the core characters. All right, Lydia.
Always trying to pull a fast one over in every single person.
Yep,
Doesn't work out
everybody.
for her. She
Nope.
thinks she's smart when she's not. Mike
She
always calls her in a bullshit.
she gets
Um,
she gets got.
she almost she almost, I mean, like, remember that time when Mike goes to her house, it's like, I'm gonna shoot your kid in the fucking head if you don't like
Yeah.
do this and that. She almost let him shoot a kid. Mike wouldn't have done it, but um got poisoned by ricin, deserved to die. Stupid bitch, you
Yep.
know. I can't really think of much scenes like where she's not trying to pull a fast one on something, you
I put
know?
her in an F.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Like
just a
hiding that
bad
tracker
character.
and stuff. Yeah, she's a bitch. Did not like Lydia at all. She got
Yeah.
what she was coming to her.
All right. Let's get rid of these two, and then we'll get into these core
Okay.
5.
Tuco Salamanca. What do you got to say about Tuco, Paul?
I like that he's just calm and then immediately psychoactive. I think it was interesting to see him at the beginning of Better Call Saul where he seemed more calm, and then you could see that when it got into the Breaking Bad timeline that like he had gotten addicted to coke and all these other drugs and just become way off the rails. Now, he always had that anger, it seems. But man, he was off the rails in Breaking Bad. I like Tuco's character. I'm glad he got blasted the way he did by Hank. I like that Hank had his grill. Didn't they throw it in the didn't he throw it in the river or something? I like Tuco, but I just don't think he's like an SA or a B. I think he might be a C
Really?
tier character. What do you think? He might be an A.
I put him at his B or C easily, but just when he goes to 0 for 100, and he was the only real psycho we got in Breaking Bad, in my opinion. That was like that psycho, like
Just
that
fucking
level. Like
unhinged.
well, in terms of psycho and physically, like a psycho. You know, Gus is a psycho, but he's not going to beat your head in. You're going to whip his ass. But Tuco,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not. He's going to beat the fuck out of you. You know, um, and he was somewhat reasonable as well some of the time, when he wasn't off the coke. But yeah, no,
Or when he
he's
was
wild.
off the coke, or when he was.
When he wasn't,
Yeah.
yeah, when he wasn't, yeah. I like that scene where Nacho's talking to Mike about how nut Tuco is, and he goes, "You see this?" And he pulls out like a little scar. And he's like, "This is a chunk of bone. This is what happens when Tuco pulled out a shotgun and blasts this guy point blank in the range, like point blank in the face, you know." And his piece of his skull went underneath my skin. And he's like, "I can't
Jesus
go to the doctor
Christ.
for this." And I'm like, "Damn, that's crazy." So I put him in a B or a C. Nut job.
Yeah, he is. I forgot about that scene. Yeah,
Tight, tight,
I
tight.
think you're
He
right
has
with the
all those
B.
memorable lines and
Yeah, tight, tight,
everything.
tight, tight. Yeah.
It's even cooler. Raymond Cruz is the actor's name that he put out the lit cigarette, and
On
Vince
his
is on
tongue.
set. He's like, I didn't ask him to do that. He just did that. He just does that. I didn't ask him to do it. And it's just cool. Seems like I heard he's a pretty rougher guy, and it's very cool to hear him interviewed. If you haven't watched an interview with him, watch it. Very chill.
Okay.
But even though it
Todd.
still seems like he'd snap. Todd. Fuck Todd.
Piece of shit, dude.
I hate him.
Kills that kid.
Mhm.
Probably, honestly, I think he's worse than his Nazi fucking uncle.
Yeah, he is pretty bad.
He might be F tier with Lydia.
Yeah,
he
might be
he
F tier.
deserves to be right with her because I
He did
think he
get
like
Jesse.
love her.
Yeah, he did some weird. Yeah, he had that. Oh, Lydia,
Yeah,
that baritone. Yeah, he did secretly love her. He did give Jesse some pepperoni pizza while he was in his captive. So
Fuck that. No, fuck.
Give him a little points for that, right?
No, I don't like Todd. Fuck Todd. And he was
Todd is a
also,
piece of shit.
even though this is completely unrelated, he was the mean bully kid in Like Mike.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and he's a mean bully in this too. Who do you think
Yeah.
is worse? Is Like Mike character or this character? Maybe Like Mike.
Probably Like Mike. He's a piece of shit.
He's
in
a
Like
piece of
Mike.
shit. Yeah, all the horrible things he does. Just a Nazi, kills kids. Yeah, I'd say Like Mike is terrible. But yeah,
Okay.
F tier. Fuck him.
All right, now we're down to like what I'd say some of the core of at least Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, obviously excluding Kim Wexler and maybe Chuck. But let's just go down to this. Gus?
How do you not put all these in S tier? Is the problem.
So here's the deal. I think Gus is A tier, not S. But I do think he plays the perfect silent villain that is to the point, brutal without being explosively psychotic like Tuco or Lalo.
Methodical.
But methodical, which is why I think he's A tier.
I'm agreeing with A. See nothing wrong with that. What is there to say about Gus that hasn't already been said? You know,
That's true. We haven't had many disagreements on this, so I'm glad we've been in agreement. But who knows? We're getting down to the wire here. There might be something.
Yeah, I put him in A easily.
All right,
Yeah.
you pick the next one.
Any of your favorite Gus scenes that you can think of that you really like? Can't really think of any at the top of my head that I really, really like. I like the scene where he definitely spots Walt's sunglasses reflecting in the parking lot, and he just like turns around and walks away because he
Yeah,
knows that he's gonna
yeah.
get blown up if he
You think
walks.
that's what it
Or
was?
yeah, no, he saw Walt's reflection from the glasses. You could see it if you
Oh,
watch from the side. Or the scene where he's walking towards the bullets and he knows he can't be touched. So he's like, "Fuck you, shoot
yeah,
at
yeah,
me," and that's
yeah.
super cool because they know they can't shoot him. So yeah,
That was
solid A.
badass. All right, you
So
pick the
who
next one.
else? This is Saul. S
Better
for
Call
Saul, right?
Saul, Jimmy McGill, Gene Takovic, the
Yeah,
three aliases of this man throughout the Breaking Bad and the star of Better Call Saul. Man, he's got to be S tier. Like his character
Pablo Odenkirk.
development's crazy. I think he had a
Mhm.
good ending. What do you think?
We're a little biased because I think we've seen the most of him, even more than Walter and Jesse, arguably, because we have a whole spinoff
Yeah,
with just him. So, 100% S. I love Bob Odenkirk. I love his development. He might be one of the best TV lawyers of all time. I don't know.
probably.
There's literally nothing to say. He is a piece of shit, yeah, but for the most part, he's like chaotic neutral. He's just trying to do his best, and he wanted to do right, but he kept getting fucked over. So, S
Yeah.
tier.
Hank
Hank. Let's
Schrader.
do Hank. I don't know, man. It's hard to say not S, right? S or A, at least. He's a badass.
He's badass. He's very likable. It's fucked up what he goes through. He really overcomes a lot. He eventually finds out, even though it took a while, that Walt is Heisenberg. Gets ends up getting fucked. We all knew he was going to lose one way or another.
Hmm.
Um, I God, he's S or an A for sure.
Hmm.
I gotta say S because I was really distraught when he got fucking murdered.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. He held it together. He was always a good guy. Really did much bad. Uh, Jesse. True
Jesse
Jesse.
Pinkman.
Again, an A or a B. I don't even know if I put him in S.
I'd put him in
Just
A.
yeah, just throw him in A. I don't know. Trying to figure out what to say about Jesse that hasn't been said and everyone already knows. He's badass. He gets the worst of it out of the entire show. By the way, Paul, you were saying someone gets the best ending. Who was that?
Jesse.
You think so?
I think
Really?
even though he doesn't get murdered and he doesn't go to jail, and that it seems like he ends up with what I like to think of when he got that new identity and got out and whatever is that he got like a whole new life. And I like to
Mhm.
think that like maybe he's always going to have that past trauma, all that fucked up shit. Now, one of the side characters I didn't include was his girlfriend that gets capped.
Mhm. That's fucked up.
In front of him that has a kid. I don't know why I forgot to add her. Maybe I don't know.
Put
But
her in F. In spirit.
well, he just got the brunt of it. I'd feel almost guilty putting him in B, but I think A is perfectly where he sits. I think,
Mhm.
but it just he has to live with all that shit. So in a way,
Mhm.
it's almost like the worst ending. But I think it was the best because you at least get to live,
Mhm.
and not hopefully be tied or caught again.
Mhm.
Tied to
Yeah,
it.
I'd put that. I don't think he got off the best. I think just living with it's gonna suck and all the people he died. The coolest Jesse scene to me though is when he's at his parents' house and they think he's smoking weed, but
It's
it's
his little
actually his little
brother.
brother, and he's
Yeah.
gonna give it back to him, and he throws it on the ground and steps on it. He's like, "That's skunk weed anyway. You don't want that." And walks away, gets in the cab, and I was like, "That's cool. It's a cool scene."
And
Also,
I
he
think he
held it
said
together
something
with
about
the
like
brother.
that's the stuff I do. You shouldn't be like, or
Yeah,
something
you shouldn't
about
be
going
doing
to
that.
school. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And also Jesse's parents probably fucked him up a little bit more than
oh,
we're let
they
on
seemed
to.
very controlling
Yeah.
in a way.
Um,
Like his mom seemed a little off unhinged, and who knows what they were like to him
growing up.
growing up. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, solid A. Now, the man, the myth, the whole reason the show exists, based off the
Walter.
back of this one man, Walter White, Bryan Cranston. This one's hard
It
because
is tough.
morally, horrible
Morally,
person.
he ends up being a horrible person. He goes from an average everyday middle-aged dad as a chemistry
Hmm.
teacher at a high school. He goes through the like what people say Breaking Bad's about is a guy that goes through the worst midlife crisis ever, right? He gets
Hmm.
cancer. His company that he co-founded or founded ends up being a multi-million dollar company he's no longer a part of.
Hmm.
He's a fucking middle school teacher while his friends have all the money. It's kind of part of it too. His only son has cerebral palsy. He ends up having a child at 40 in his 40s, 50s. Like
It's comical.
he literally just hits the worst midlife crisis ever. And I think that's
Mhm.
what leads him to do a majority of these things, especially the cancer when he, with all the medical bills and everything. Bet
And then
next to Jesse and Saul, probably the best character arc throughout the entire universe. Just because I mean it does really revolve around him,
maybe
at least better Breaking Bad does, but
maybe the best character arc in all of television. Because what's really beautiful about his character is we've literally never seen on TV a character that started out good and then devolved into this monster. Because because The Sopranos was the first anti-hero, but in the first episode of The Sopranos, Tony Soprano is beating the fuck out of some guy that owes him money. So like
yeah.
you start out with him being the piece of shit. But Walt, you start out those first couple episodes of like, all right, I'm rooting for this guy a little bit. Then it gets to terrible. So it's really great character development. One of the first. I'd put him in S. If you don't
Yeah,
agree
I
with that,
think you
put him in
can't
A.
I think you can't not put him in S.
Yeah, right? How
Even though
could you
with
not?
everything he did.
Yeah. And
Now,
you know,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised we didn't argue as much, but also if we had another person on to do this tier list who's seen
they
the
probably,
shows.
they probably would have put the Nazi a little lower or
Yeah,
argued a little bit more on the Nazi.
the F, that's a bad look. The Jack,
Yeah, it's a
Uncle
terrible
Jack.
look. Maybe put him down. I'm just kidding. No, looking at it objectively, like,
It's pretty balanced.
yeah, I might put characters higher, but other than that, no. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's a good list.
This is a good list.
Anything
And
you'd change?
I'm looking over it right now, and honestly, I'm thinking it's pretty fucking solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
I really
good.
think it is. I think Wendy and S, but other than that, I think looking good. Looking good. Wendy holds it together, right? She keeps it real.
All right, well, that was the Breaking Bad universe tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just swap over the templates here quick. Jack will keep you entertained.
Oh, I will keep you entertained. Thank you all for so much for watching a little tier list thing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had any, qualms with the choices, drop it in comments. Let us know what you would have changed. Would you put the Nazi lower, put him higher? Would there be anyone near him? Let us know what you think about that. And if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, that's your homework for tonight, is to watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I think that was a great tier list. Now, it didn't go nearly as long as the serials, which was good, and I do think I had a good balance of characters. Not too many that were side, but, some could have maybe been kept out, but I liked adding those kind of fun side ones. Jackson, we're at about an hour and a half in. Do you want to keep going a little bit, or do you want to end it on the tier list? What are you thinking?
I'm fine with ending it on tier list if you are. If
Yeah,
there's
I'm
anything
good.
else you want to jump into, we can do.
No. I think that's everything. I think we had a... Well, tell me the Almonds story quick then.
Oh,
and then we'll end it.
No, I'm gonna put on blast. It's not even like it's bad. It's bad. Okay. So I go to Sam's Club and I buy my almonds in bags that they're huge. They're giant bags of almonds, and each giant bag of almonds
You
is
get them
about...
unsalted, right?
No, I get them lightly salted because I'm not a psycho. What do you mean?
I eat them unsalted to not have sodium.
Dude, once you get salt on them, you can never go back. So
Oh,
don't
I've
put
gone
salt
back.
on them. Trust me.
I've had them with salt.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Once you go back, you never. But yeah, no, salt your almonds, lightly salt them. I got a huge bag. I got the Blue Diamond ones. I got the
those are
bag, and
expensive.
it's about because it's their best. They're about 6,000 calories a bag, and I might have ate them very, very quickly. I might have ate 6,000 calories of almonds in
You
about
ate
a
an
month.
entire fucking bag. Oh, in a month? I thought you were gonna say like in one sitting, like
in one.
like,
It's 6,000, dude. I'd be dead. No,
dude.
no, that's still too much. Actually, I'm lying to myself because I want to lie to you guys. The truth is, it's 8,000 calories, and I ate it in a month. And I feel so embarrassed because I bought them with this person I've been seeing, and she was there when I finished them, and she goes, fucking, she's like, you've been eating like. I'm like, oh, I just finished these almonds. She's like, how did you finish those so fast? I'm like, what? I got them 2 months ago. And she's like, no, we got them like 3 weeks ago at Sam's Club. Do you remember? And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, look, I remember. He's like, the receipt and whatever. She's like, yeah, we went that day. And I'm like, oh shit, bro. She called me out so hard. It's like, how do you eat 8,000 calories of almonds in 4 weeks? I don't know. but I was so embarrassed, dude. I'm
That's pretty
done
good.
with almonds. And here's the thing, I didn't gain any weight. I'm still at it. Every single time I weigh myself, which is like 5 times a week,
You have ridiculous
155.
metabolism. You have
Dude,
ridiculous metabolism.
no, I got fat though. I can tell my stomach
You
got
had some
fatter. I
almond
have a
weight.
line. It's evolving, dude. And
Yeah,
now I'm done
you're
with
shaped like
almonds
an
for a
almond.
long time. Dude, I would eat them by the handful. I just sit there
You
and
love
just
salted almonds.
I love almonds so
Well,
much,
let me
dude.
tell you about my friend, the salted cashew, because some will
Oh,
say he's creamier and much better.
I was a cashew enjoyer,
I
but
have
now I'm on the
unsalted
almonds.
cashews are good. They're so good on
Those are
their own.
good. They make my mouth very dry. But yeah, no, I was very embarrassed to say the least about eating 8,000 calories. That's like 2,000 calories a week. I'm not even lying. Of just almonds. I should be dead right now. I'm more almond than human a little bit. And this is recent. I finished the bag like 4 days ago. So this is bad. No more almonds, and it sucks. I fucking love almonds, but guess I'm off the almonds. A handful of almonds is 170 calories. Let that sink in. 29 almonds. That's 170 calories.
With the salt, yeah, that's insane.
With a little bit of salt, Paul, with a tiny bit of salt. What are yours? What does it go down to? 150, but now you're eating like trash. It's not even
Fuck
good.
off.
It's not even enjoyable. You put a little bit of salt on it and you're good to go. You get the lightly salted. I don't know how light.
Is salt bad for your cholesterol, sodium? Does that fuck with your cholesterol?
Probably.
That's
I
why
don't know.
I think that's why I stopped, because I'll never forget this day. Ricky and us were going to the cities, and we'd stop at Hardee's, and we were teenage boys, so we'd get like the biggest burgers ever. And Ricky started would put salt on like every bite. And then,
gross.
and then I think something like that. Like, he'd salt it up. That's okay. A man enjoys the salt. But then I started doing that, and then I started like realizing my heart would race a lot, like a way faster than it would when I would salt things. And I'm just like, I don't use salt anymore. Like, I don't add salt to anything. I avoid things that are like salted. Like, if I can get almonds or cashews that have no salt, little less calories, low sodium, I'll do that. But don't get me wrong, I'm sure I'm getting my fair share of sodium via the various, like, if I have a protein bar, I know there's some sodium in that. You know, if I have a protein, like a pre-bottled protein shake from somewhere, you know.
It's like, I'm eating all this salt. Why do I have so many sores in my mouth? Oh, it hurts.
Yeah.
Handfuls. You got to get iodized salt. That's very important. Don't be getting none of this kosher salt. Iodized, 100%.
What you eating the whole bag of almonds reminds me, I know we're on a podcast talking about a podcast, but Taylor on PKA not too long ago was talking about, and I have these, the Quest cookies and cream bars, and he's talking about, they're good. I'm having one tomorrow for lunch. That's one of my things for lunch. And yeah, it's got half your daily intake of fiber, and he ate an entire fucking box, which is like 1,000 calories, really, but still, like, you know how much fucking fiber that is? He's probably shitting his fucking brains out.
Dude, I can already, immediately as you said, Taylor ate this amount of food, I thought about 4 things where like he ate insane amount of food. The other day he talked about eating, crab one, but eating the string cheese at like 100 calories. He's like, oh, I must ate about 15 of those. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. I love Taylor. Shout out Taylor.
Shout out Taylor. Taylor, if you ever want to come on a really low viewed podcast and chill with Jack and I, let us know, man. No, we don't need his help. We won't even list that we have him on as a guest. You can just come be a silent partner. Just come hang.
He's the coolest one. I'd love to meet him. I'd love to walk into a Pizza Hut one day and see him ordering a pizza.
Yeah. He's gotten fucking fit. He's gotten jacked. Did you see the epic mealtime video with him in it?
Yeah, the recent one when they're at the gun range. Yeah, he is freaking jacked. Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Gutterball 81, Jackson, you want to say anything else before we tie it up for the night?
Nothing much. Hopefully I can come back next week and say I am 7 days almond free. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try to resist the almonds. I already kind of want to go buy another big bag and see how fast I can eat it. How fast do you think you could eat 8,000? Like, or probably like a week easily. But anyway, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. You know, you want to get on Gutterball, let us know. We got Gutterball 100 coming up soonish. You know, we still got about 20 weeks. But yeah, we got some special shits planned for y'all for then. I'll let Paul take it from here, but thanks so much for watching.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And just so you know, next week, 82, we'll be having Foster back on, recurring guest we've had a few times now, a good friend of ours. So shout out Foster. We'll see him next week. If he doesn't show up, well, he doesn't show up. He'll show up. But yeah, we'll be having Foster on next week. Thank you, everybody, so much for your support. If you made it all the way to the end here, we really do appreciate you for even watching the full length. I mean, that's awesome. Even if it is just the audio only, thank you so much. And if you're already subscribed, that's great. What really helps us out is engagement. So if you could leave us even just a like, clicking that button below, if you're listening on YouTube, or just even leaving a comment, even if it's anything, just like, hey, what about that Breaking Bad universe tier list? Like, were there some things you would agree with? Were there some things you'd change? Let me guess. You're probably gonna say put the Nazi in F tier. You fucking psychos, probably.
Mhm.
But thank you so much, everybody. Really
Thanks so
appreciate
much.
it. And that was Gutterball 81. Whoa! Whoa!